Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the People's Proletariat Prefecture, Petroleum, with workers and resources in the Soviet Republic. And here we go. Oh, cheers! I was not supposed to get into that thing that just happened. Sorry, pardon the excursion there. But for a year now, it is now next year, yeah. I've been watching this and throwing out cases for the police stations and so on. It only does so much. It doesn't do anything on the wider scheme of things. I have to do this very often for them to get a single case resolved. And in the meantime, I think that the crime is going slightly out of control here. Slightly. 34% criminality. 24, 28, 26, 24. It is increasing, let's say. And also, nowadays, population here has decreased quite a bit. We're down to 46,000. Yeah, still an easy citizen reaction. That's how much of a death spiral we're in. But number of prisoners has of course gone down, even though we are where we are. I am an easy citizen reaction, right? So, yes. This is just a bit crazy, this. But, yes, so Utopia is slowly but surely dying. The prefecture's capital, Petroleum proper peoples, here is also slowly dying. And they do provide a few services which are essential. For example, the television station is very much essential. The steelworks is very much essential. They also do maybe a few not so essential things. At the oil refineries, yes, are there 3 workers in the oil refineries of the People's Proletarian Petroleum Prefecture. I mean, that really says everything about the state of the People's Proletarian Petroleum Prefecture right there. Yes, I hope that we keep enough of the fuel and oil around so that we actually can have our internal use covered. It ought to be reasonably set up in such a fashion that that's where everyone gets their fuel from internally. At least here. The other ones, they take it from in here, so there we have quite a buffer. But this is not okay. This assumes that the oil refineries are running more or less, sometimes at least. I wonder if you could prioritize this. Doesn't look messy at all, this. No. But something does send fuel into this here tank. Into this here tank, really. Yeah, into this here tank. What is... that is going that way. Yeah, this I suppose is the output for the oil refinery. Yeah, you have your high priority set that way. Medium and low. I don't know what they do quite, but they do something. One goes to the asphalt plant. Okay, that's also a little bit important then. But it is already set to high, so that's what I can do about that, I suppose. This one, same thing. Okay. Then, now if we run out here, it's not a real biggie. We can always get it, or get at least quite a bit of it out of there. But never mind. Yeah, the television station and so on they provide, which are essential. And also that steel mill, you said, electrical component, mechanical components factory, I think is also pretty essential. Lots of things are essential, but yes. So what we shouldn't be doing are non-essential things. And the clothing industry is very much essential. The brewery is very, very much essential. People are getting grumpy. They can't get anything to drink. Yes, and is there anything that isn't essential that they're doing here? This is maybe not so essential that you need this many workers in it. We can maybe decrease staffing here a little bit, try and get them into the clothing factory instead. How much clothing do we have? We have a little bit in stock, but that's going to go pretty damn fast if things really start going. Yeah, an extremely important industry that we do have. Yeah, but I turned off that one. And the plastics is the same thing, not important whatsoever for the time being. Yes, very important is also this nuclear fuel fabrication business. And it's operating very, very slowly. But I think that we actually have a little bit of nuclear. Yeah, we do have a little bit of nuclear fuel in more than we need at the power plants for the very moment, at least. I think so. It does seem to be full. Yes. So, but the television station is the one that we can most easily do something about. They also do meat, by the way, meat industry. That's pretty important too. There are not a lot of people here. 157 reported crimes that were not patrolled. Yes. Why don't you just go into the debugging set the menu and reset the criminality? Because it is only this town, really, that it is this bad. There is completely these two towns that it is so completely screwed. So I'm thinking if we could let them die and then repopulate rather than using debugging functions. It might be completely hopeless, dead from the start. Oh, this is no good. They're running like very, very, very low on water. It would also turn out. I'd imagine that that is because, yes, there is one worker in the water treatment plant for the People's Proletarian Petroleum Prefecture. Okay, that is not so good. But here, in Utopia, they actually have water. Maybe we should reintegrate these two water systems again. Now that we have a slightly different layout of the thing. Where would you have to take this then? I would have to take this into the water tower of the town, wherever that is. It's right there. Right here is where this. There will be more pipes where it is. I think it's easier if you look overground. There it is. Yes, and it even has one free connection. So if we take this over to Utopia's waterworks, we might just get whatever flows over from there. So at least they don't have to, die of thirst. Yes, but there's dehydration was the word I was looking for. That's quite terrible, but they're just so goddamn depressed that it is hopeless. Yes. I think we simply take that up to that water tower and we ought to be good. How 862 workdays, sure, get on with it. Oh, you couldn't get to the bit in the middle. No, not at all. And the helicopters, the helicopter construction crew, that's sort of also based around here and might not be working right now then. It's and also the concrete industry for the whole goddamn thing. We still do have a few workers, none in the asphalt plants, okay? Yeah, this is going to go great. Maybe not. But we'll have to try, just to get the sense of how few people actually live here, since we can't get... I see there are quite a number of free flats, like all of them basically are free. And they can't work because there is no kindergarten. There are 17 reported crimes that were not patrolled. 19 citizens were unable to visit the pub or tavern. 16 blah blah blah, and so on. But everyone, more or less now, has an average productivity of 30% and a crime rate of either nothing or like 90. For some reason. And the police stations are just so overswamped, it doesn't matter how many of these I build. Not with this productivity, they're never going to get around it. Oh, but yes, we need to duplicate a few industries. And one thing that the television did and doesn't do anymore is provide culture and also a bit of this stuff, the government loyalty to the people. Therefore, it is quite important. So, Brederöv is going to be the new broadcasting central. I think because Brederöv is, I think, is quite a happy town, and they're doing reasonably well for themselves. 15% criminality, so quite a lot of criminality goes on here too, but they don't seem too bothered by it. A little bit bothered. They are a little bit unhappy for some reasons. 221 citizens were able to enjoy culture, and they can't get anything to drink because, as we know, every industry up around there is sort of offline at the moment. One reasonably easy way to be able to get over a few of these hurdles would be to simply import the stuff, like drink. We can drink foreign beer for a while. I hope that's okay. Would it be? This is a utopia medium. No, this distribution office, the beer distribution. Yes. If we simply tell you to go to the border for loading, that's not the border. You ought to maybe take care of everything. I think that this place, this warehouse, this is where all the ships get their alcohol. So, yeah, adding it to the list of this distribution office, this list of tasks would help, maybe. There you go. Load. Beer. Thank you. Is there anything else that we can easily replicate somewhere else? No. Everything else is either you know, such a like steel. I wouldn't want to build another steel mill where we'd have to bring iron and coal and all of that stuff. I hope and think that we do have quite a bit of steel stored away every here and there on boats, on open storages and what have you, to get through this. But clothing could be a problem. If it would turn out to be a real problem, I suppose we could always import it. We might even be importing it, who knows. Last year we're importing electronics. Yes, we did import clothes one time, 6 tons, so that's nothing regular. I don't know if anything is set up to handle that. A gravel boat has been away. A few gravel boats maybe have been away. No, 180 tons? Not enough to be a gravel boat. Right, I have a little truck that imports gravel too. That's correct. It drives to a little border house. Anyhow, citizens' happiness is too low. It keeps telling me there quite often. Police has not arrived. Yeah. What else do you do? It really is the clothing and the beer and the nuclear fuel. And the fuel that we drive all the vehicles on. And the bitumen that we use to heat ourselves. Yes, it might not be completely straightforward and easy to do this, to survive this, just like so, but we shall see how it goes. If anywhere it would make sort of sense to replicate a few of these functions. The meat industry, for example, it's going to be real bothersome not to have meat, but whatever. This place, Svendemannen, this might be our new, jewel of the Republic. And look at this, they have the new water treatment plants are finished. We just need to get them chemicals and stuff, but you might not even need to come here for work just yet, because this... don't mind. Don't care about that. There's still not an enormous amount of people here, but we are getting 7,600 and we are on a pretty good growth thing, I think. This, of course, can neither get to a power tavern or enjoy culture, and every now and then a few people seem unable to get clothing, which is slightly scary. And why is that? You do have quite a bit stored away down here, I would say. You can have a bit more. and even a bit more maybe. The other places have storages on their ships too. That's a bit unfair compared to here. Fair, but it's an advantage that they have, which we don't have here. Yeah, here this was finished. I planned in this last time, and it was finished, but it turned out to be a storage for vehicles instead of an open storage. They are rolling the asphalt as we speak. What was the point of this? The point of this was I was supposed to build prisons down here for the great wave of prisoners that we were going to get. We're not going to get the great wave of prisoners. Because it's the simple matter of fact is that we're never going to sort this situation out. It's just going to have to die out on its own. And eventually, as the population grows back, we'll resettle the capital and Utopia. Okay? That sounds like a plan, I think. That sounds like a pretty decent plan. We just have to hunker down and muddle through this and get through it. Yes, and to do that we need to duplicate then a few of the services that they do. We can't be bothered to duplicate steel. Apparently cannot be bothered to duplicate brewery, but down here would not make this sense. Would make sense to have one, since we have the second food industry, the so-called backup food industry now, the primary food industry. Down here. Now this time this is an open storage, yes. That is great. Maybe it would make sense, but do we have space around here to do this? It isn't that expensive or difficult to import. It's mostly a matter of pride. Yes, but an even greater matter of pride, or matter of shame, rather, we could say, would be if we would have to import petroleum products. If we were to have to import diesel, for example, I mean, then it's time to quit. Yes, then we give up. Then we are no longer the People's Proletarian Petroleum Prefecture. So we'll have to make sure that we avoid that, and it's not really feasible to set up another oil industry somewhere. We do have tankers which bring fuel and things to most places, so we should have great buffers. We should maybe look over the system of those things and such. Yes, but the brewery would have to be down here, and it's a little bit laid out as to only have two, like a mirrored setup of a food factory. You see, it sort of seems as though someone has thought that is what's supposed to be here. Yes. But still, just if we have a look at they're doing a little brewery here. You see, you need a factory connection there, and you don't have. You have factory connections here. Maybe this factory connection could be used like so, and then you could have the brewery out here. But it would look quite messy, I think. Cancel factory connection. Yes, that would work. But this now it's no longer symmetrical. This place was like the only thing I had that was almost sort of symmetrically laid out if you don't look at too closely at the roads and such. But the buildings are placed in a sort of symmetrical fashion. That is now completely broken. Great, now we're adhering to our building standards. It's very important that in order to get building permits and so on, that you adhere to the standards and what other stuff around you looks like. So that's all great, but it's still a distillery down here. It is. We'd also want like a warehouse. Since we're down here, we'd like that warehouse to be connected to a railroad, rather. Yes, but if you put it here, how the hell are you going to get workers in here, did you think? I don't know, we sort of need that factory connection. That's the only way I'm doing it. Yes, but this is not... it doesn't have a back entrance for workers. No, but tunnels. Yeah, we need a tunnel in either case, and we do have enough have the length walking range available to them for them. Yes, we do. This will require a level crossing that every time there is a train standing on it will cause a dinging sound. Other than that, it's nothing too bad. But the dinging sound is damn annoying. But they only send trains here from the distribution office, and so therefore only send them when they should be strictly required and needed and so on, and actually in use. And if we pull this road out just a little bit, or as much as possible, it might even decrease the chance of a train even waiting on the level crossing. Here there's a little bit of high voltage in the way. Someone has strewn here straight through everything as if this space was not worth anything. But it is now, anyway. Yes, we have grain in, we have a road connection for building it, and we now need one of these basically that we need to fit in here and also get the railroad onto. Right, that will limit the length that we can take to that one. No problem. Let me try and get a stock warehouse. Yeah, but what did you not think of the factory connection for the thing? Apparently I did not. Okay, if we can't do it, may not be possible. But just one check here if we could get it to work at all. That way ought to work. Why didn't you do it like that? That's what I meant to do. Right. You didn't have to remove the whole Gatan road then, since it was working quite adequately. Still, I should maybe have put the warehouse on first. If we can't get that to work, we don't need it to work with the railroad, but then we want a better road access. You stop being all over the place here with your goddamn blathering about with all these notions that you have, and try and get to them instead. Door. Yes. Now the music machine crashed. I need to concentrate a little bit here now, otherwise this is never going to get finished. Warehouse. Mirrored place. No, not... Yes, mirrored. Yeah, but there is no way you say that the railroad is hooking up and fitting onto there. But maybe one of these. One of these might be able to do it. Where your rail connection is there, okay. Could we even if you put it this way around? This way around would be like even better. Much better. Yeah. Yes. Might be a little bit tight for the road, but that, okay. Come on, yes, no problems. That's the easy bit. Now, the little bit interesting bit, I suppose, is can you get a railroad to connect to there? But yeah, you fucking scrap. Piece of junk music machine. Suboptimally working music machine. Would you please work just a short while longer? Concrete-based railway. Yes, and to be able to take as long trains as possible on here. All these police station windows that you have open, you intend to do anything with those ever again? I don't know. For a while there I sort of had a bit of an ambition. Yes, but it doesn't quite add up to be doing such things. Where is the rail? The rail construction office we have right here. They even have 17 workers. 17 workers? These are people living in utopia. Their working time is very much valuable. We make sure we only spend it on the most needed stuff. This is very much needed. but also it's also needed to make like concrete and asphalt. Quite. I see, music machine is working again. Yes, but this is that then. When this is finished, there will probably be a few interesting, maybe logistical challenges. I mean, one could think about then. Yeah, we could simply truck it, or otherwise get it up to here somewhere, or we could put in. So we need to be able to load these things onto ships. Otherwise, it's rather pointless. I really would prefer to not have to take it on a truck. But look at that terrain. There's no way we're going to get rail lines out of this place now, is it? This is the harbor that we need to take food and food we don't need to take here, but we need to take drink here. Yeah, drink is not going to be that great amounts. No, it's not, but still, it would be a really interesting challenge. I don't think that this can be done in a reasonable way, shape or form. Unless, you know, like, for example, you'd be able to do a tunnel. It's too short, yes, but I want it a bit longer. Yes, but there's not enough of a thing here. Should we see next time if it's possible to get the railroad out of here, maybe? Yeah, I think we should. And then by then, also maybe the television station will be finished. It might be. Thank you so very much for watching here, number 263 of the People's Proletarian Petroleum Prefecture. The capital is dying, Utopia is dying, but other places are thriving. They just miss their beer and good television. Other than that, they're pretty good off. So, just need to be sure about all the resources that we get out of those, the capital and Utopia. Thank you. Good night.